Hi, I'm Lexi Fotheringham with Burns Saddlery, and today I'm going to be showing you how to finish and antique a project. For today's project, you will need some type of lacquer, some antique, some clear coat, we used Bag-Kote, some gloves, and sheepskin. First, we're going to use a lacquer to put a resist over top of our leather. This is Deft. This is a wood sanding silver lacquer. The way that I apply the lacquer is with a sheepskin. We just take it and cut it down into small little pieces and make sure that all the hairs are trimmed up nice, and that's what we use. When you're using the lacquer, you don't want it to sit on top of it and harden up. You want it to actually go into the leather, so make sure you're rubbing it around quite a bit. I like to start in one corner and work my way down and around. That way I know that I have gotten everything. The lacquer that we're putting on is a sealant, so it's going to seal off the leather, so when we antique the leather, it's not going to soak up any of the color of the antique. It's just going to make it pop a little bit. Now I'm just going to be taking a little bit more and going over it really fast just so I make sure that I've gotten everything. So moving on to our second step, we've let our lacquer dry probably about 5 minutes roughly in there, and then we're going to be putting on our mahogany antique. When applying mahogany antique, we like to use a sheepskin the same that we did with our lacquer and just take a little bit and rub it on there. The antique that you're using is going to set down in the cracks of your tooling and really just make your tooling pop. And you don't want to let it sit for too long, so I like to put it on in a section and then take a bigger sheepskin and wipe it off really fast. With antiquing, there's a couple different ways to do it. If you don't put the lacquer on first, it will take that color really heavily. So when you put your antique off, you have to wipe it off fairly fast or it will darken up a lot. I like to antique my projects because it just gives it a little bit more spunk. Today we are using mahogany antique, but there are several different colors you can use. There's a couple different browns and different colors that you can make your tooling and your project just a little bit different. Now that I've got my one section done, I'm just moving on to the other one, just so it doesn't sit on there for so long. We did put a sealant on it, but I personally do not like my antique to sit on there for a super long amount of time. Now that it's all antiqued and we're kind of just giving it a nice little buff so there's not a bunch of antiques sitting in certain spots. Our last step is to apply our Bag-Kote, and we're going to apply it the same exact way with our sheepskin. When I apply it, I just take it and dump it right over and kind of wipe it off as I go. Just because I don't want a ton of it on there, but I do want a good amount. The Bag-Kote is going to add just a little bit of a shine and a protectant onto your project. And that is our finished project. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe to Shop Talk.